Breaking news now coming in from Ahmedabad in Gujarat, where protests are taking place at a school there. This is after a shocking incident on Tuesday where a stabbing incident took place at the school. This is the 7th-day school where a class 8 students were told attacked a class 10 student. The student later died. The clash reportedly began over a minor scuffle but then escalated when the accused stabbed the victim outside the school. The injured student was rushed to a hospital where he later died during treatment. But now there's a lot of anger in the area and a mob stormed into the premises attacking whoever they encountered. So anger in that among the locality there, among the people there, given this shocking incident taking place, a stabbing taking place outside the school and a student actually losing their life because of this. Let's go across to Saurabh now for more. Saurabh, tell us more about this stabbing and now so much anger and protest taking place at that school.
Absolutely. This is an incident that took place yesterday, but of course the death of a student is something that obviously has led to this kind of anger that is being reported from outside the school in those visuals that you can see on the screen. Obviously, this is an incident that's also very shocking given the fact that this involves two minors, school-going students, and also violence between two students in which one of the students, basically the student who was attacked, and in a most horrific way with a knife, has passed away. Now, obviously, there are certain details coming in. The incident apparently took place, right outside the school. It all started off with a minor argument between the students, is what we are being given to understand at this point, though the details at this point are still coming in. But there have been protests there outside the school over this horrific incident, shocking incident, where a student has died after a stabbing incident that was carried out by a junior, a class 8 student and a class 10 student, of course. Now, the class 10 student is, of course, was attacked by a class 8 student. And this took place, like you said, at the Seventh-day Adventist school. And this incident took place on the 19th. And you can see those visuals where protests are taking place and anger, of course, over this incident. But clearly, it's a shocker about how, a young student, a class 8 student, first had a knife on him, secondly attacked a fellow student with a knife, and that led to the death of one of the students, which has led to this situation outside the school where protests are taking place.
Right, but Saurabh, it is very shocking, the two minors involved in an attack that turned fatal like this, in a fight that turned fatal with one of them being stabbed. But this kind of anger is also something that is quite shocking. The way you can see this mob moving through the school. We believe that some guards were also roughed up, the guards trying to, hold back the mob, but them climbing over the walls and just smashing everything in their way.
Yes, visuals that you definitely wouldn't associate with a school where obviously things should be peaceful, things should, of course, not turn violent. But this is a case where, this is something that we're seeing. First, of course, a stabbing incident, and then these visuals of the school being ransacked over anger after the incident. But this is, of course, what we're being given to understand now. It was the security guard of the school who first noticed that one of the students had been stabbed, and of course that student was taken to hospital where treatment was given, but of course the student died in hospital. What we're also being given to understand at this point is that the class 8 student had the knife on him, and of course that is what was the weapon here that was used. And this class 10 student was stabbed outside the school and, of course,
right,
lost his life.
We're also joined by Devang Acharya from Ahmedabad. Let's find out more from him. Devang, give us more details of, firstly, this incident that took place, a class 10 student being stabbed outside of his own school, losing his life in hospital, and also, this eruption of anger and the mob moving into the school, smashing everything in their way, and the police unable to control them.
Hello.
All right, we seem to, don't have a proper line there with Devang Acharya, but let's return to Saurabh. Saurabh, just, once again, for viewers who just may be tuning in, this is a mob attacking a school there, and this is after anger over a stabbing incident in which, very tragically, a class 10 student lost his life.
shocking, horrific incident that's taken place in Ahmedabad, and this, of course, you can see there in the visuals. The police also there, but obviously, being able to do very little to stop that mob from entering the premises of the school and vandalizing school property. However, like we've been reporting, this is an incident that took place yesterday, and of course, this is the aftermath of that incident, the stabbing incident that took place on Tuesday. Where a class 10 student was stabbed, and then of course you have this angry mob turning up at the school over the incident. Now obviously there are more details as to what exactly transpired, sequence of events, all of that is still being put in place. The police, we're being given to understand, have studied the CCTV footage that's available. However, like we were talking about, this incident seems to have taken place outside the school, and the security guard seems to have noticed the incident, but of course the students of the school is what we're being given to understand at this point. Now, a lot of details still coming in, but this is a horrific incident. Firstly, of course, you see a stabbing incident, and then you see this kind of violence, but you can see the crowds there outside the school after this shocking incident. Now, this school, of course, is in the Kokra area of Ahmedabad, and it's a fairly well-known school in the area, is what we're being given to understand. And this is, of course, according to the police, what we're now being told is that this took place after school hours, and the victim was reportedly accosted by a group of 7 to 8 teenagers, some of them students of the same school. And during the scuffle, one of them allegedly stabbed him in the abdomen. And that's where, of course, this incident actually turned horrific. And then, of course, you have this student being rushed to hospital, and now you have these visuals on the screen where, of course, you can see these incidents of vandalism, and also that huge crowd outside the school after this incident where this violence has taken place in Ahmedabad. There's also, what we've heard from the Ahmedabad police is that the preliminary inquiry so far has revealed that the injured student had an argument and a physical scuffle a few days ago with a class 8 student of the same school. And holding on to that grudge, the class 8 student, along with others, confronted him after school and stabbed him, is what the police have put together at this point, is what we've learned from the police. Then this is, of course, from the Ahmedabad police over there. But again, this is a horrific case because, this involves minors, and such violence amongst minors is something that is a very, very, very worrying sort of development. And of course, what's happened in the aftermath of that incident, where you see this kind of a crowd at the school, is also equally shocking.
All right, Saurabh, thanks so much for joining us with all those details.